Hello, my love, and welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, I am Kay, an astrologer, numerologist, and spiritual witch here on YouTube. Listen, if you've been attracted to this video, take this as your confirmation from your own spirit guides and angels that you were meant to receive it. Check out the new book by me also, Make It Happen, How to Manifest Anything. The link is in the description box below. Let's get into your video. Hello Virgo, I do hope that you're well and welcome to your September horoscope. I hope you had a wonderful month of August. So look, what I see for you in this particular sign is that September is a month that has a lot of energy around your finances towards the end of September, and as we start the month it looks as though serious commitments and anything that you could be committed to right now in life is under the spotlight. So on the screen here we've got the chart for the full moon, which will be on the 10th of September at 9:59 a.m. GMT. This is my local time. It could be the same day for you or it could be the day before. It will also be at 17 degrees of Pisces. But before we get here, as we start this month, the sun is actually in the sign of Virgo. So happy birthday to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And so it is all about you. The sun is in your first house. So as we start this month, regardless of when you're born, the sun is supporting you with you, your appearance, how you show up in the world, what it is that you desire. If you're someone who's thinking of, manifesting stuff specifically for you, or even changing your appearance, getting a haircut, doing you in any way, then of course this is the month to do it. By the time we actually get to the full moon, which we can see here on the screen, we've got down the bottom, circled in pink, the moon at 17 degrees of Pisces, and just opposite that, we've got the sun, which is the yellow symbol by number 2, at 17 degrees of Virgo. So this is where your serious commitments and marriage come into play, because the full moon is actually happening in this part of your life. So where we've got the arrow and number 1, it is your 7th house. This is the house that covers marriage, partnerships, business deals or business partners, commitments to other situations, people, places and things that you consider quite seriously, and basically how we share life with others in quite a committed way. So full moons can often bring around decision making, and I say this as an astrologer because we have the sun and the moon, as we can see on the screen, in opposite signs that they approach life completely different. Pisces and Virgo, completely different energy. And also it is about masculine and feminine and them being opposite each other. So for you, it could be that when it comes to anything you're seriously committed to, your marriage, if you're thinking about someone who wants to calling marriage to you like a suitable partner, or you've got a business deal, or you want to start a business, around the full moon or certainly mid-month could be a good time to focus in on this. Now, two things that are going to impact on all signs that's happening around the full moon, but how it relates to Virgo is, first of all, the moon, where she is at the bottom of the screen, circled in pink, she's going to form a conjunction with the planet to the right of her that's circled in black. Now, this is the planet Neptune, and Neptune is actually in retrograde. So when planets conjunct, if you're new here and you haven't heard me explain this before, it basically means that the planets are so close together that their energies merge into one. So they start to work together in unison. So if the moon is a representation of our emotions and how we feel, and Neptune is about our hopes, our dreams, and our reality and what we require or what we want on a soul level, this is about what it is that you desire emotionally, or what you've been thinking about emotionally that you potentially see as some kind of aspiration in life. Now, this for you is going to fall in that same area of life in your 7th house. So it's your serious commitment, marriage, partnerships, business deals, all the ways that you connect with other people in your life in a pretty committed way, or other situations, people, places and things. What this key thing here is to know about this particular aspect between these two energies is that Neptune is the planet that can sometimes keep us a bit delusional and up in the air and not really see things for as they are. We tend to sometimes maybe ignore the red flags or the reality of things, but as soon as Neptune goes into retrograde, that is when everybody gets a reality check in their life, depending on where Neptune will be. And for you, it is around this part of your life. So the universe is kind of saying to Virgo, okay, what is it that you need to be realistic about? What is it that you need to consider the reality of when it comes to any serious commitments, any marriage partners, or any, desire that you have to call in a marriage partner, any business deals or businesses that you wish to start, anything that you're seriously committed to. What is the reality of this that you are emotionally connected to or that you emotionally desire? So where this aspect is, where we've got the number 1 and the arrow, this is where that energy will shift up for you. The second thing is that the moon, she's very busy this month. I've said it to all the signs. She's also going to form a square with the planet Mars. Now, if we look on the screen, if we can see where we've got the line kind of going from the moon, circled in pink at the bottom right hand side, up to the planet that's circled in black, that is red, just above where we've got number 1 and the arrow. This is the planet Mars. So these two energies are going to form a square. When planets form a square, this is more about conflicts or a feeling of annoyance or frustration, or something that you've been tolerating that's kind of been digging at you, that you really need to address in life. Mars is the planet that deals with our drive, our determination, how motivated we are to do things. Mars represents action and war, and he also represents how we express our anger and sexual energy as people in our birth chart. So for you, Virgo, this energy is going to be placed around your 10th house. So where we have number 2 in the arrow, it's about your career and your direction. This is the house that basically covers where we're going in life, what we're known for, our reputation that we have, but specifically it is related to career and our direction and any father figures or strong male influences that we may have in our life, regardless of whether you're male or female. So what I'm seeing here is, with Mars up there in your 10th house where the arrow number 2 is, it's kind of like a message from the universe to say to Virgo, okay, so what is it that you are motivated by? Or what is it that you have some kind of drive for to do with your direction or your career in your life? However, even though you have this, is there something that you need to resolve? Is there some kind of conflict? Is there some kind of frustration about feeling, about anything that you feel in this part of your life? It could be there for some of you because that's where Mars is going to be, or it could be any part of your life. But basically, with this square to the moon, this is what how we emotionally feel with the moon, but also what drives us and what we're motivated by. And there may be being a bit of push and pull or conflict or frustration between the two, what it is that we want emotionally and what it is that's actually driving us. So that's some information to keep in mind for when we get to the full moon. So as we move through the full moon in Pisces and we go towards the end of the month, this is where your finances come into play for you, Virgo, because we're going to have a Libra new moon on the 25th at 9:59 p.m. at 2 degrees of the sign Libra. And this could be the same day for you, or it could be the day before. This is my local time, GMT. It does depend where you are in the world. So on the screen, we've got the chart for the new moon. And we can see circled in pink down the bottom right hand side again, we've got the sun and the moon, this time side by side. This is what's going to give us a new moon, and they're both at 2 degrees of the sign Libra. Now this for you is actually going to happen where we've got the arrow and number 1. So this is your financial house and what you value in life, what you place value on, what you actually have as values that are tangible, like your money, your cars, your houses, and all your assets. And the body also comes here as well. Now, new moons are complete different energies, to full moons, and the new moons are more about starting new cycles, going in new directions, and creating a new energy with whatever it is that we want in life. So for you, what I see is that this is an ideal time as we close out the month of September for you to be thinking about your finances, your personal finances, but not just that, what it is that you actually place value on in life. What values you hold, what your morals are, what you will and won't stand for. And also it's an ideal time if you want to start any new health routines or go to the gym or focus on your body in any way. The new moon is there to support you. Now, two things that are happening, or a couple of things that are happening that will impact on all signs, but how it relates to Virgo is, first of all, your ruling planet, Mercury, and Venus are going to form a conjunction. So on the screen here, where we've got the new moon circled in pink down on the right hand side, Just to the left of that, we can see the purple symbols and planet, which is Venus. And then to the right of her, we've also got the symbol for Mercury. And we can see that we've got Venus at 25 degrees of Virgo, and we've also got Mercury at 27 degrees of Virgo, causing the conjunction. Now, as mentioned at the start, these two are going to be working together. Their energies are going to be merging together. And what this is about an expansion of our desires and ideas, because Mercury will represent what we think, how we communicate, and any trips or travel or IT. And Venus is, love, money, art, beauty, all the wonderful things that we actually desire in life or that make us happy. This is what Venus will represent. Now, these are both expansive planets, which means that whatever they touch in terms of another planet or another energy, their main goal or aim is to expand that energy. So they are touching each other and they are expanding each other. So what is it that you desire, that you've been thinking about, and time for you to expand on this? Now, as this is happening in the sign of Virgo, of course, this is going to happen in your first house of you, Virgo. So where we've got the arrow number 2, this is where this is going to be. So the universe is saying to Virgo, okay, so what is it that you are desiring or thinking about that you want at this moment in time? Now could be a good time to really think about how you go about expanding this, how you go about making whatever it is that you want to happen or desire happen now as we close out the month and we move into October. The second thing that's happening is the moon again. She will be opposing the planet Jupiter, and this is a really beautiful thing that I see happening in the universe. So just opposite where we've got the new moon and Mercury and Venus circled, we've got in green a symbol that looks a bit like a number 4. This is the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that brings luck, fortune, blessings, real benevolent and supportive energy. He's also a very expansive planet as well, but what he brings is always some kind of luck. Now, in opposition with the moon, this could be, luck, decision making again around what it is that you are feeling. And where Jupiter is going to actually fall for you is in your other financial area of life. So where we've got the arrow and number 3, this is your 8th house. Now, this is an interesting house for Jupiter to be bringing some luck and fortune to, because this is where we share finances, yes, so things like debts, taxes, property that we may share, joint bank accounts, all this kind of thing. But it's also things like time that we share with other people, situations, places and things. Even our sexual desires that we share with other people, anything that we share comes in this part of our life. Now, the next thing that this house covers is also transformation. And this is why this is quite a powerful house, because it is literally known as the house of death and rebirth. So where we have Jupiter falling here for the sign of Virgo, it could be whatever it is that you have been wanting to transform in your life, okay, that you have been emotionally connected to, or you have some kind of emotional investment because Jupiter is forming an aspect with the moon. This could be a good time to think about this, to work on this, to see how you can move forward with it, because obviously the universe is supporting you with this as well. So my main message here for Virgo, I think with this particular aspect with Jupiter, is although the shared area of life is very, very relevant, debts, taxes, property, time, anything that you give to other people, situations, places and things. Yes, this is key, but the overall energy of this house is about transformation. So I see the end of September for Virgo, once we've gone through your season, once you've had your birthday, and hopefully you're feeling nice and refreshed and ready to go into a new month. It could be a great time for you to be really thinking about transforming yourself if that is your desire in any area of your life. It looks like a really, really nice aspect for you. Now, the third and final thing which is going on, which will impact on us all, and if you were here in August and you listened to your August horoscope, you would have heard me explain this to you, because it's been happening since August, and obviously it's gone on all through September, and it looks set to continue through to October as well. We're going to have the North Node and Uranus, the planet of unexpected changes, form a conjunction also. So on the screen where we've got Jupiter circled in green, just below that we've got a couple of planets circled in red. So the lighter green would be the North Node, the darker turquoise colour, this would be Uranus, and this is happening under the sign of Taurus. So the North Node is essentially about direction. It's a point on the moon's nodes. It's not a planet or anything like that. It's a kind of point in the universe that deals with our direction. Uranus is that planet, as mentioned, that will bring these unexpected changes, but I honestly see and feel that what the universe is telling us all, because this will impact on everyone in the zodiac, is that the universe is here to support us with our direction that we're going in, and anything that we feel we need to do that is unexpected, or the universe might just do it. It might just happen, and something unexpected may happen with your direction. Now for Virgo, where this is falling is where we've got the arrow and number 4. This would be your 9th house. And this area of life as well is quite a really nice area of life, because it deals with our views on life. We call it like the house of philosophy. So it's how you feel about life in general, how you feel about things. It's about new experiences, situations, people, places, and things that are at a distance or quote unquote foreign to us. So things that aren't local or new. This is overseas experiences, overseas, people that we're connected with, or new experiences that we can have overseas. It's a house of travel. It deals with publishing. It deals with sports as well. So what I'm seeing here is that Virgo could be blessed with a new experience as we close out the month and we move into October. The universe is most definitely supporting you with this. It could be a good time to do long distance travel as well, and any connections that you have overseas as well. It could be that this is impacted with this unexpected energy in the direction of the way things go, depending on what it is or what connection that you have overseas. Now, again, because this is the house of kind of like values and a house of how we see things and how we view life, it could be that for some Virgos you have some kind of like aha moment, like a light bulb goes off in your head about something, and you gain some kind of clarity, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as we close out the month of September. Now because this is happening in the sign of Taurus, again, Taurus is that energy which is about slow movement, stability, and the long term. So whatever changes come to you as we close out September, or even as we go through October and we close out 2022, just know that what the universe is saying to us all is that these unexpected changes that we're about to have, or that we're creating for ourselves, or in the case of Virgo, the new experiences that could be coming your way, these are things that are going to be for the longer term. These are things that we should really take our time with and not rush with. Make sure that we are clear on where we're going with this. And it's also about stability as well. So it's not as if the universe is giving us all some kind of unexpected change that is totally unstable. It's actually happening in a good sign, Taurus, to make sure that these changes are for the good and that they are long term. So finally, Virgo, the last thing to let everybody know and to let you know as we close out your horoscope is that your ruling planet, again, Mercury, is about to turn retrograde. And as you are a Virgo, I'm assuming that there's a good chance that you might be very, very familiar with Mercury retrograde, because this is your ruling planet, and if you listen to horoscopes, whenever there's a retrograde and it's impacting your ruling planet, you might hear a lot of detail about this. But for anyone who doesn't know, a retrograde for a planet is basically when a planet travels out in the universe to as far as it can go. So it can no longer travel any further. And it appears from an Earth's perspective, from where we are, that it is moving backwards. And so it is moving backwards through the sign that it starts to retrograde. Now, when a planet retrogrades, it's basically calling us back to something, like a situation, person, place, or thing, wherever it is in our chart that it's happening. With Mercury, with this particular planet, because he represents thoughts, ideas, communication, trips that are, routine or short trips, and he represents IT, it's all about this. Mercury retrograde gives us a time to rethink and strengthen ideas or thoughts or whatever it is that we are desiring or experiencing on a mental level while he's in retrograde. So we can see the chart here for the day. So Mercury retrograde will start on the 10th at around 5:38 a.m. GMT. This is my local time. Again, it could be the same day or the day before for you, but certainly by the time Mercury reaches 8 degrees of Libra, he will no longer be, in his forward movement. He will be retrograding. So he's circled here in red, and for you, this will be happening exactly where it is on the screen in your second house. So you are having a financial retrograde, which means that Mercury is basically urging Virgo to go back and rethink your finances, your values, what it is that you place value on in life, your own values you hold as a person, your body, and this part of your life. It's your finances. It's basically about what you own yourself. And, lots of astrologers, and I do agree with it, will all tell everybody, be careful during retrograde when you're doing any travel or when you're communicating people, because Mercury is that planet of communication. So when he's going backwards and he's retrograding, it's an ideal environment for people to have misunderstandings, to have disagreements, to have disputes. It's a perfect environment, and this can happen. So just be mindful of that, when you're communicating with people. Also with travel, the same kind of applies. Because he is the planet of travel, he can disrupt travel. So when we have like lots of train strikes, depending on where you work in, where you are in the world, or we have lots of travel disruption or roadblocks or even accidents on the road, or our own travel plans get disrupted in some way, Mercury in retrograde can impact on all of this, and he will be retrograde for a good couple of weeks into October. So if you are someone who is traveling from around the 10th, please plan your route, please check your map, please make sure you've got everything together and you've got your tickets ready and everything, and you know where you're going. So that is what's happening for retrograde for you. And also, with your finances as well, it's a good time to focus in on this month, and a good time to focus in on your values that you hold as a person, and also your body as well. So that is pretty much it, Virgo. That is what I see for you for the month of September. And, if you're new here, then why not consider subscribing? I would love to see you here again. And if you're someone who's returning, then thanks so much, and thanks for the support. It's great to have you here. Anyone who wishes to check out the full reading of the new moon and the full moon that I've done in detail, and you want to see how this can apply to your own personal birth chart, not just, your sign generally, then do check the description box, do check the pinned comments, check out Patreon. I've put all the links up there. Also for the month, I would have put up all the self-care stuff, the journal writing prompts, the channeled messages that I've got for people who wish to see them, or from the Oracle and Tarot deck cards. So it's all there for you. So have a wonderful month of September, Virgo. Enjoy your birthday. I hope you have a super month, and make time for yourself as well. And I hope that everything goes well in retrograde, and I will catch you for your horoscope in October. So I'll see you then.